Yes, this bridge in China is really not for the faint of heart, and here you get sweaty palms and gasping breath just watching it. But many people are looking for exactly this adrenaline rush in their free time, and only feel alive when they have a pulse of 180. That's why today we want to show you the most extreme attractions our planet has to offer. Of course, we'll include the world's most extreme roller coaster, but we'll also show you where you can dive as live bait with the world's most dangerous animals. You'll also find out why the bridge in China really is one of the most dangerous attractions of all. It's going to be exciting and nerve-wracking, so stay tuned here at Wonderlane. Oh, and write us at this point which of these attractions you would most like to try out. Number 9. Let's get started. If you want to climb the 2,155 meter peak of Huashong Mountain in China under your own power, you have to be a real adrenaline junkie or absolutely tired of life. Why? Because the way there is known as the most dangerous hiking trail in the world. And quite rightly so, because in places, the trail only leads around the mountain on narrow planks. The only thing to hold on to is an iron chain hammered into the rock. In other places, hikers have to shimmy along the rock or balance on a wobbly chain in order to continue, always with the abyss in front of their eyes. But that's by no means all, because since you have to take the same path back again after the ascent, there is two-way traffic the entire way. And that over 2,000 meters above the ground, without a safety net and with only an old climbing rope for support. By the way, there is no reliable data on fatalities, but it is said that hundreds of people have already lost their lives here. Nevertheless, the trail is extremely popular with tourists to this day. Number 8. If you loved sitting on the swing at the playground, you'll probably love this attraction. That's because the giant swing at Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park in Colorado is probably the most extreme swing in the world. Not only does it reach a speed of 80 kilometers an hour, it is also located on a cliff 400 meters high above the Colorado River. According to the park operator, who touts the attraction as guaranteed to be the wildest ride of your life, more than 60,000 people are expected to take a seat on the giant swing each year. It's no wonder that news site USA Today named the swing among the 10 most extreme amusement park attractions in the United States. Up to 4 people at a time can swing above the abyss and really let the extreme negative G-forces affect them. The height, the speed, but also the unique view are guaranteed to provide unforgettable thrills. However, anyone wishing to use the shock swing must sign a statement beforehand, waiving any claims against the company and acknowledging that falls, injuries, and/or death may result from its use. Number 7. When it comes to roller coasters, hardly anything can shock us anymore. But the Yukon Striker in Canada pretty much tops everything that has gone before. The dive coaster, which opened in 2019 at Canada's Wonderland amusement park near Toronto, is higher, longer, and faster than any other roller coaster before it. So it breaks not just one world record, but 3 at once. The Yukon Striker is the fastest, the tallest, and the longest dive coaster in the world. The cars race around the curves at a speed of 130 kilometers an hour and plummet up to 75 meters into the depths in freefall. On the 1,105 meter long ride, 4 loops await the passengers, some of which even rotate 360 degrees. The turbulent ride lasts 205 seconds, and a maximum of 24 passengers are allowed to ride at the same time. Number 6. We know New Zealand mainly as the filming location of the Lord of the Rings movies, but did you know that the world's largest catapult of its kind is also located there? The Novice Catapult in Novice Valley on the South Island of New Zealand is absolutely unique and hurls the adventurous visitors on a rubber rope through the mountain panorama. They reach a speed of 100 kilometers an hour in less than 1.5 seconds before coming to an abrupt stop, as in a bungee jump. Incidentally, the adventure, which lasts about 3 to 4 minutes, was invented by the New Zealand company AJ Hackett Bungee New Zealand. Founder AJ Hackett is also already considered the inventor of modern bungee jumping and made the extreme sport famous worldwide around 35 years ago when he jumped from the Eiffel Tower in 1987. Number 5. However, you don't necessarily have to fly to the other side of the world if you want to experience extreme thrills. If you don't want to take the long journey and you're from Europe, you can simply go to Austria. More precisely, to the Dachstein Mountains in Gosau. There, you will find an attraction that is second to none. We are talking about the so-called Himmelsleiter am Donnerstag. The unique hanging ladder is part of a 1,000-meter long Via Ferrata and connects the peaks of 2 mountains. In doing so, it hovers 700 meters above Lake Gosau. And once you're standing on the ladder, you'd better not get scared of heights. Turning around is not possible here. Up to 4 people can be on the bridge at the same time, although the more people there are on the bridge, the shakier it gets. But the view and the thrill are simply unique. Number 4. For 32 years, the CN Tower in Toronto was the tallest building in the world, before the Burj Khalifa in Dubai was erected in 2007. Nevertheless, a walk on the roof of Canada's tallest building should still be quite impressive, and that's why thousands of adrenaline junkies come to Toronto every year. There, they have the opportunity to walk around the entire dome of the gigantic radio tower at a height of 356 meters. The 150-meter-long platform on which they can walk around the roof is completely open and consists only of a narrow grid. So, there is no railing and no net. Instead, tourists are secured with ropes, which in turn have been attached to a railing. For people with a fear of heights, this attraction should be hell. But for real adrenaline junkies, a walk at 356 meters is far from enough. Instead, they even lean backwards over the platform and let themselves be held only by the ropes. However, those who have circumnavigated the roof and also mastered the tests of courage are presented with a certificate at the end and are the proud owners of a CN Tower Edgewalk certificate. Number 3. For those who don't mind dizzying heights, the next attraction may provide extreme thrills. In the so-called Cage of Death in Darwin, Australia, you can act as human bait and dive face-to-face with some of the largest crocodiles on the continent. In the shatterproof acrylic cage, adrenaline junkies first dangle above the water while the crocodiles feed before their eyes. Afterwards, the cage is lowered into the pool, and the massive predators, which grow up to 6 meters long, come within a few centimeters of the cage. Because more than a few tourists have repeatedly broken out in panic during this process, they now have to undergo safety training before going on the spectacular dive. The Cage of Death is part of Crocosaurus Cove, an aquarium and wildlife center in Northern Territory of Australia. Number 2. One of the most frightening bridges in the world is located in central China, in the Huashong Mountain amusement park. The Extreme Leaps Bridge is located at a height of over 150 meters and consists only of several free-hanging boards, which are attached to 2 ropes at a distance of 1.5 meters. So, the tourists have to jump over the boards to get to the other side of the cliff. In doing so, they are only secured with a rope, so there is no safety net below the bridge. Normally, the attraction itself is extreme enough, but what's really scary is the fact that the bridge's safety system apparently sometimes doesn't even work properly.
牛逼，我快乐，非常的牛逼。
Some time ago, it became known that the rope of a tourist was not properly secured and simply broke during a jump. A video recorded the blatant incident and shows how the rope comes loose during the last jump to the safe platform. Investigations proved that employees had not properly secured the rope, but the park later claimed that it was all just a marketing stunt. However, the Chinese government did not believe this, and the park had to close. Number 1. If you've ever wanted to fly like a bird, you should head to Wales in England. More precisely, to Zip World Velocity in the Penrhyn Slate Quarry. The site of the world's largest slate mine over 150 years ago is now home to the world's fastest zip line and the longest in Europe. Anyone who dares to take the Velocity 2 flies headlong at breathtaking speeds on a 1.5-kilometer long rope over the barren rocks of the Slate Quarry and reaches 100 kilometers an hour in under 10 seconds. But that's not all. With Velocity 2, top speeds of an incredible 200 kilometers an hour can be reached, making the zipline even faster than a parachute jump. And because it's even more fun when you experience such an adventure with friends, 4 people at a time can fly over the valley in this unique cable car. And that's it with our video. Write us in the comments which attraction you found the most amazing, and which one you definitely want to try. Otherwise, like this video if you enjoyed it, and see you next time, here at Wonderlane.